destroyed that car.
The Miami's destroyed the Huracan. Like, I remember being a kid sitting in those cars, and I'm like, wow, this is the ultimate goal, Huracan. Now I look at a Huracan, I'm like, I don't even want that car. Like, in Miami, like, 15 to 20K in Miami does, if you like to go out, it does not take you far.
Bro, 15 to 20K in Miami ain't shit.
15 to 20K in Miami is like,
because what's a night?
You know, 100K a month.
The Miami's destroyed the Huracan. This is the ultimate goal, Huracan. Now I look at a Huracan, I'm like, I don't even want that car.
Easy to get taken advantage of, huh?
It's super easy to get taken advantage of because you meet these people that have somewhat of an influence, and you're like, okay, I can trust them.
Right.
But you can't. And it's like one of those things that goes back to trust no one.
Didn't lose anything.
You want a hot take?
Hot take.
I think this fucking thing's going to go up in value.
This thing?
Yep.
That's a pretty hot take.
That's a super hot take.
That's a pretty hot
take. I think
take.
the Revelto's going to come out. It's new tech and all, but I think people are going to realize that this experience of a car will never be fucking replicated, ever.
We're just opening up on the hot take.
I'm opening up on the hottest fucking take possible.
I think that's
single
pretty hot
clutch, the sound, how big it is, how wide it feels, how it bounces you around as you drive. Like, this car will never be replicated again. Because again, they're not going to put another single clutch in a car because again, it just doesn't make sense. The dual clutch is too fast. They're trying to go for speed and time and everything in between. The sound, they would really have to do something with the hybrid system to get a car to sound like that. It's just nothing is fucking ever going to beat this again, bro. And look, this fucking sick. Like, bro.
Dude, it's raw.
It's raw as a motherfucker.
It's so raw.
It really is. So I think it might take some time, but even like the S's, I know SVs, when it's all said and done, I think SVs will probably be the king in terms of value because they're the most limited. SVJs will always be up there because, again, it's the pinnacle, but I think the S's will appreciate a little bit.
I think
The Ultimate.
Ultimate, too.
The Ultimate.
That's also a beef.
The Ultimate is not going to appreciate.
You don't think so?
No one's going to want the Ultimate. They're going to want the SV and the SVJ.
That's true.
And then the Ultimate is always going to sit. Right now, the Ultimate is more than the SV. The SV will one day be worth more than the Ultimate.
It will. It's kind of weird how that works, though, because the Ultimate really fucks. Like, if you really look at it compared to all the Aventadors, bro, it's fucking, the tech is the newest, bro. Like, the power put down is the most.
The details are more specific.
It's fucking,
it's a great car.
It's the most modern Aventador.
But for the average, because when you're buying something like an SV or an SVJ, you're buying it to stand apart from like the regular Aventador driver.
Exactly.
And I don't think the Ultimate gives that.
I don't think so either because I saw my friend driving one and I thought it was just like another Aventador, and he's like, this is an Ultimate. And I'm like, never even heard of an Ultimate. What's an Ultimate?
It's the Ultimate. It's not the Ultimate.
No, it's dog shit. It really is dog shit. And that car needs a fucking exhaust. You'd be surprised.
Oh, it sounds horrible.
These things stop.
They all do.
It really does, bro.
It sounds horrible.
But I think the problem is we're so fucking used to just these cars having modified exhaust, and when you do hear a stock one, dude, when I got this thing, I bought it and I drove it with the stock exhaust. I was like, what the fuck?
You're like, I just got scammed.
I was like, what the fuck did I just do, bro? I was like, fuck
And that
myself.
exhaust got put on.
Yeah,
night
and I
and
was
day.
like, best decision ever, bro.
Woke her up.
Best decision ever. But
We're back here in Corsa Galleria again. Shout out George.
Yep.
For letting us
Big
use
shout
this
out to
space.
George.
Corsa Galleria is the spot. Hit them up in Glendale for all of your BMW needs. they got BMWs lined down the street.
Literally.
So everything you need, every M car you can think of. We're here today with Tyler. You go by Tyler or Ty?
Yeah, Tyler.
Because Ty's
Doesn't
the
matter.
handle. So
Yeah, Ty's the handle.
Ty
All right.
Wanks, baby.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
at Ty Wanks. Go
My
find
boy
him.
flew from Miami to LA just to sit down with us.
Just
we
for this.
appreciate him so much.
Honestly, this is the highlight of my trip, so I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Fuck yeah,
Well, it's
dude.
all work, and then you get to sit down and talk about cars.
And we get to talk about cars.
Tell you, bro,
It's
it's
the
a
best thing
fucking
ever.
dream.
We've already been talking about
Literally,
cars.
bro.
So now we got to recap all
Yeah,
that
now
stuff.
we got to recap. So, what's the first modification you're doing to any car that you buy?
Fuck me.
Exhaust. No wheels.
Are you going aesthetics or are you going
That's the whole thing.
performance?
I think, okay, fuck, dude, Ty just threw me some shit. I don't think anyone's ever done that. Came on and threw some
for
shit
real.
my way.
That was a hot take.
I think it depends on the car. I think, like, for example, like a 720, any McLaren, I'm throwing an exhaust on. Because I can live with the aesthetics of that car
right,
naturally.
stock.
Maybe like a Huracan or an R8 or something like that, I could probably live with wheels or even a wrap first, just depending on what I have. Like if I'm buying a cheap spec and I want to wrap it, I could see myself going that direction. But I would say it's probably gonna be wheels for the aesthetic, depending on the car, or exhaust depending on the sound. Like
What about you?
720 for sure exhaust.
CAD delete.
Cat delete.
Every
first thing.
time. Every car I've gotten, CAD delete. Straight to the muffler
This
shop.
boy lives in Florida, you can tell. It's a Florida boy.
It's amazing.
Well, cat delete with the stock exhaust will do some things.
This is crazy.
It does some damage.
It does fucking
especially with a little tune on there too. It's all it takes is just CAD delete and tune. Literally.
Yeah.
It's actually fucking pretty crazy that with the world they live in, they could just do that shit no problem.
I know.
Bro, you know the fear I have driving this car around.
I can't imagine. We
Bro,
were
if
just
I get
talking about it.
stopped, bro, I'm fucked.
You're cooked.
I'm literally fucking cooked.
I feel like it's a buzzkill in the car community out here almost.
It is, bro. It
But
is.
people just
figure it out.
they just figure it out
They just have enough balls and they
There's
just
some
go, fuck it, I'll figure
there's
it
some
out.
ways around it.
because there's not an SVJ out here without an exhaust on it.
There's not, bro. And now an exhaust that doesn't fucking send nukes behind you, bro.
Yeah, how do you get by? Do you have valves?
I don't. I don't
No.
have valves, no.
This thing's spitting flames.
This
It's
thing's-
loud all the time.
There's nothing. It's all go, all fucking madness all day long, bro.
The first time I drove it, we pulled up to a light and there was a cop on the other side. I was like, so what do I do? Just go slow? He's like, yeah, go slow. And I was like, switch to second, like immediately. He's like, yeah, just as soon as you start going, switch to second.
Just granny shift.
You literally have to, because the problem is even in second gear, even in first gear, like 2,500 RPMs, and you let out the gas, the backfires on this thing are so goddamn loud that like a
Pops.
cop will look at you and from first to second, 2,500 RPMs, you're cooked.
Dang,
You're
that's
cooked.
crazy.
You're literally cooked. I remember I've had one pullover in this car. I was leaving my house. I think we were going to a podcast. I was leaving my house. I took a quick turn, and like whenever I get in this thing, and like I haven't driven it for a couple of days, or I haven't driven it all day working, I'm like, I need that. Like, let's fucking
Getting on
go.
it.
Like, let's get it. So I get out the corner, I rip it, I go down the street, and like I rip through a green light. And as I'm ripping through a green light, it's one of those streets where it just kind of has like a natural curve to it. As I'm ripping through the green light and it curves, I see a fucking bike cop planted like in like the, literally like the trees here. And the problem is I kind of saw him at a point where I was like, if I slow down, I'm not gonna be speeding. But I was so loud prior that no matter what I did, like he fucking heard me
Easily.
And I'm rolling by him, even real like nothing crazy. I'm still loud as hell. He pulls me over. I pull over. I never really normally do this. As soon as I pull over, I just shut the car off. I'm not gonna leave it running.
No,
This
no.
'Cause
thing
he's gonna
sitting
know.
here running. He's like, he's gonna
He's
read
gonna
the
he's
decibel
gonna
right
he's gonna
then and
hear
there.
it. He's gonna smell it.
Yes, the whole night.
Yeah, he's gonna smell it immediately.
Bro, I pull over, I turn it off, pop the window down, hat off, hands on the steering wheel. Yes, sir. Like, what can I do for you? Type thing. Most proper, polite it could be. He was like, man, you're going crazy fast. Like, car's pretty loud too. Like, you know, the whole nine, license registration. So I always kind of give them like a nice little glance, like make sure they really look in my face, give them the ID. They see my ID, my name, Joseph Murphy, like the age, and they kind of like look at me and they're like, all right, they go back and they do whatever little research they do, and then they come back, and this guy was so nice enough to just give me like, I think he gave me like doing a 55 and a 45 or some shit like that with a little like a little minor modified exhaust ticket. But bro, anytime I get stopped, the immediate fear that enters my body, I go, this could be the last day I'm fucking driving this.
I
fucking
can't
thing.
imagine.
It's not Illinois where they're like, sick car. Like, can I see it? Can you show me? It's like they've seen it. They
A
don't.
bike cop too, bro.
Yeah.
Bro was definitely like 40 pounds overweight too, pushing that uniform. He's fucking, he hated me.
He was
The second
nice.
He saw me.
He was nice to you, and then you did him dirty like
I
that.
did do him like that. I did. I know it's kind of fucked up, but I did do his ass dirty like that.
Bro, you just got a new car, yeah?
I did just get a new car.
What'd you get?
Let's
Yeah, I
hear the
wanna-
whole. Let's hear the start. Like fucking, what did Ty
Turn it
start
back, turn
with?
it
The
back.
whole nine. What we got here.
So
'Cause
my
this is not the Ty that started everything.
so my first car was a '98 Avalon with like 300,000 miles on it.
Hey, Avalons were pimp back in the day. though.
Dude, that thing was reliable.
Ain't no Camry.
It's the only car that I've blown up.
The most
Blown up?
reliable one. You blew that bitch.
Rod knock. No oil. Just completely forgot to check the oil. And my uncle gave me that car for free. And I was like, oh, this is going to be rough. I called my dad. I'm like, hey, it's making a knocking noise. He's like, pull over. Towed it on out. And then after that, I bought a Ford Ranger. Ranger Danger.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Like what year?
97.
So like a single cab?
It was a single cab, but it had the two little jump seats in the back. I threw like a 12-inch deep dish in there. I did a catback
DiGiorno in the
exhaust.
back, baby.
I did a catback exhaust on the Ranger, and it was manual too. And it was a sick car. I drove that car to LA and back, Miami and back, West Virginia and back. That thing got me everywhere.
That's all I need to know that you like cars.
Ford Ranger,
Dude,
Ford Ranger, dude.
put a catback exhaust on a Ford Ranger.
And it sounded pretty good. It was the V6 Ford Ranger. It wasn't the 4-cylinder. So it sounded okay.
That's some pimp shit.
It sounded all
That's some
right.
pimp shit.
And where we go from there?
And then from the Ford Ranger, my first car that was like a sports car that I really wanted was a C6. It was a 2005 C6. It was manual as well. Had like 20K miles. And first thing I did, straight pipe. Cat delete, muffler delete. Literally like the day after I bought it.
Cataly, hey, it's his first mod.
Exactly. It's like my go-to. And then from the C6, I went to a C63S Edition 1. And from the C6 to that, it was like, okay, like
The yellow stripes down the side.
yellow stripes down the side. I feel like I would get that car again.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's such a unique car.
You liked it that much?
It was
Circle back to it?
amazing. Obviously, first thing I did, downpipe tune,
Right.
did a little cat delete, and that car was so much fun.
I feel like
So
that's
much fun.
the biggest suggestion for like first exotic.
It's
Yeah.
like a C63 or
Yeah.
like what do you think about like the GT63s? The
Those
GT63s.
new ones I like a lot.
You like the new ones?
I do. I really do. It's
What do-
crazy.
What do you like about them?
To be honest with you,
It's
okay,
just softer, right?
that's pretty much okay. Okay, maybe my bad. I misspoke. Not the brand's new ones.
Okay.
The refresh.
But
I'm
like
talking
the 2021s,
those.
exactly.
I like those. Like
Those are
even
nice.
the 4-door, that shit's pimping.
Yeah, those are
I
sick.
can rock that motherfucker. That thing with a nice set of wheels, lower a little bit. That's
Crazy.
You're talking about the 4-door, yeah?
Yeah, the 4-door.
Yeah. The 63 is the 4-door.
Yeah.
What's the 2-door?
The 2-door is
AMG.
the AMG.
AMG GT.
The AMG
Yeah.
GTR.
Okay,
Shout out
GT.
D Jordan Media.
D Jordan Media has to go.
And then I went from the C63S to my Z06 that I had. It was a 2019 Z06
You don't have it
C7.
anymore?
I got rid of it.
Best fucking car ever made, man.
You
that,
miss it, huh?
That was my dream car. Like, out of all the cars that I could have ever wanted was Z06. And then I found that one with like 3K miles, stick shift as well, one owner. I was like, I'm going to get it. Picked that up, wrapped it satin black, headers.
Shift as well, huh?
Yeah.
So fuck, man, you really like driving manual then.
Dude, I love driving manual.
respect that.
Such a fun car.
You're a rare breed then.
Dude,
bro.
driving
Your
manual
age
cars-
too, bro. You're just a rare fucking breed.
My dad, when I was 15, he was like, all right, you want to learn how to drive? You're going to learn how to drive on a manual.
And that's it.
And then ever
That's
since then,
cool.
it stuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, you need to know how to do it. He was like, you never know. So then I stuck with the manual, and the C7 Z06 in manual is such a fun car to drive. Such a fun car. And it sounds amazing when it opens up.
Elite.
All you have to do is headers. I did a cat delete with a X-pipe and then an intake.
I can only imagine how loud that
Yo,
was.
that car fucks.
That car is so
You're
loud.
maybe like 700, not quite there, but like
With like
almost-
with a
Those
tune,
cars-
yeah.
Those cars are loud before you do anything.
Before you do anything, it's loud. But I will say, you never know how loud that car is because the cabin really like soaks every, like you can't really hear how loud it is until you're outside of it. It's unreal. And then from the Z06, I went to the R8. I got a 2020 R8. It was a Spider. I hate Spiders, by the way. Big soft top hater. Not a fan.
soft top. Yeah, no.
Soft
Can't stand the soft top.
Soft
I
top,
can't.
Yeah, I can't.
But it was valid. We were in Miami, so I was like, why not? I'll get the R8.
Everything's drop top. Yeah.
Everything's drop top. So then I had the Z06 and the R8
I
together.
did not have a drop top Miami, bro.
Dude, I feel like it's like a crime.
MPH Club has 15 Huracan Spiders.
Bro, literally, bro. That's
They probably have the most, honestly, down there.
Yeah.
It's unreal. And then
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
went from, I traded both the Z06 in, which was hard to do, and the R8 in for a 600 LT. 2020 600 LT Spider
That's what you're in right now.
car. Yeah, that's what I'm in right now. And that car fucks.
When'd you pick it up?
I picked it up probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
Not even.
How do you like being a McLaren owner?
Honestly, I never thought I was going to be a McLaren owner.
Right? It
I-
just kind of happens.
Yeah, it just kind of happened. I'm like,
It just hits you.
after I bought the R8, I go in the dealership like a week later and I see another 600 LT. I'm like, what? Why did I buy the R8? I'm like, what is this? And then I was like, all right, 600 LT is going to be the next car that I get. So for like the last like year, I've been trying to get a 600 LT. And finally the deal lined up and I was like, 600 LT. Literally the same day that I found it, I was like, I'm going to buy it.
Papaya Spark?
Papaya Spark. Yeah.
Best color, dude.
Dude, it's
So
so
you did it
nice.
right.
It's so nice.
Spider too, that like for me, when you're talking about like a driving experience or even like a car 215 under for like a driving experience, I think that might be top tier. 600 LT Spider,
Bro,
that top exit
With the exhaust right behind your head.
spitting flames,
Spin
with
flame stock. That's unreal.
Stupid.
And you
Did
know,
you delete the cat?
I don't. You can, but then you have to tune it. So it's like I'm scared to tune that car.
You're entering a different world.
It's a danger zone
You're
tuning
entering a
those
different
cars.
world.
You know what I mean? And also that car alone is probably one of the scariest cars I've ever owned. Like I've owned the Z06 was fast. It was a scary car.
And the way it put power down, it's not easy to control that fucking car.
It's not.
You got to get that car tuned out here.
I know. It's got to get tuned eventually, but I don't
gotta
want to
hit
do
up
it in
Matt.
Miami.
Yeah. Matt HC Tuning will fucking
Yeah?
tune that thing right. Yeah.
Good stuff.
The guys at the Voodoo, the guys that built my exhaust used to be a part of like McLaren's race team.
Oh, no
So like
way.
when it comes to McLaren specifically, the dude's a fucking magician.
So I'm gonna just come to you guys. Then.
Him and with this guy Matt is HD Tuning, that combination. It's the 600 LT I was showing you before.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is 1,000 horsepower. That's who built that car.
Did they upgrade the turbos on that?
Everything, bro.
Wow.
Everything. Whole car, motors built, turbos built, like the whole thing, bro.
Does he drive that car every day?
He does. Because he has 3 MAVs on it. So he has like stock, 800, and then 1,000. So he just switches between the three. And it's fucking whatever. So like imagine just being able to switch between them just based on your map. Like literally, bro, it's perfect.
You're talking about Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Edge.
I'm gonna be honest. That car stock scares me. So I can't even imagine how 800 or even 1,000 feels in that car.
It's disgusting, bro.
It's ridiculous because the car's so light. It's all carbon fiber.
It's ridiculous.
That's the scariest part about it. You know?
That's why I want that car so bad. So props to you. You've got the car I want. But how small it is, how light it is. It's
Yours
like,
has Senna seats?
No, I got the comfort seats.
Thank God. Thank
I
God.
wanted to do the MSO seats because it looks cool,
Right.
but it's literally like a piece of carbon that's like this thick all around. And you like sink into the car even more than the comfort seats, so it's like pain in the ass to get
Bro, I
in and
got
out.
in one. It took me like 5 minutes to get out of it.
It's like you're climbing a mountain.
It was
honestly,
fucking terrible.
I feel like the P1 seats might be the sweet spot.
dude. The P1 in general is that's just a different level. That's a different level. Honestly, people ask me, they're like, where do you want to go from 600 LT? Because 600 LT all around, in my opinion, is such a great car. Performance, looks, sound, the flames, everything about that car is amazing.
Name a better car at 200,000 than the 600 LT.
Then the 600 LT at 200,000,
Better car in what
in what aspect?
Yeah.
Like
Just all around?
aesthetics or just all around?
All around the whole package.
Nothing, in my opinion.
I'm trying to think hard about
Around 200K, maybe a 488. But you
Can
don't
you get a 488 200K?
You can get a
I think you can get a
little bit-
GTB.
Higher
higher mileage.
Higher miles, yeah.
Because that market's kind of weird right now.
It is.
Because the 458s are creeping up and the 488s are creeping down, and they're like meeting in the middle. What 180 458 and 250 488 is now like 200 210 in both of them.
And then eventually the 458 will overtake
Will
it.
overtake it.
And the
It just-
458 is just going to keep going up in value.
I think it just depends on how close to 200 you're trying to stay. Because you could pick up a high mileage 720 for 220.
Yeah.
You
Can I
know?
be honest with you? I would take a 458 over 600 at that
Really?
price.
Really?
I would, bro.
The 458 is a beautiful drive.
Hear me out.
Have you driven a 458?
I've never driven one.
It's stupid.
It was my first supercar.
No way.
Yeah. So like for me, that car has a special homage. A, so a bias. B, that car, and I didn't even throw an exhaust or nothing on my shit. That car, driving wise, handling, doesn't compare to 600 LT.
Amazing.
Doesn't compare to the 600 LT. It's shitty.
Really?
But Ferrari interior compared to the McLaren interior, the Ferrari does shit on it. Even like fucking 2013, 2014. If you put an exhaust in that car, that 9,000 RPM red line, and he can attest to it,
It's screaming.
it's special.
And in
It's the
the
only
in the
thing.
in the canyons, the 458 in
It's
Angeles
special.
Crest was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my life. It was
If you want to see the best fucking face ever on this kid, I can show you a video of him ripping the 458 in the
just
canyon. He literally, bro, I thought he nutted for the first time when I watched the video.
the
bro.
first
It was-
time ever.
The first time ever.
First time ever.
It was the most raw, like just fun. So that car, as an experience,
Right.
I would say, because there's aspects 600T will shit on it,
Right.
But as a full blown experience, it's hard to replicate it. Because at 200K, because I think that car at 458 will probably, it'll be a 300, 400K car.
Those cars are in the 458s are NA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about it. So like,
That's why they sound insane too.
yeah, so 458 literally stands for 4.5 liter flat plane V8. That car with a 9,000 red line, I'm telling you, bro, it's like I almost like when you get back to Miami, just open your eyes and rent one because you can fucking rent one from fucking anybody.
probably
Just
do that.
drive one for a day. I promise you, bro, it's gonna reimagine the way that you think about Ferrari and that car.
Because I've never heard them in person. I've only heard them on videos,
It
and I
fucks,
know
bro.
videos don't do
It
justice.
fucks. I
crazy.
promise you, bro, it fucks.
I'd take the 600 LT though. I haven't even driven one, but I take it.
Why?
Speed?
Just like the size of the car, how small it is, how nimble it is,
Yeah.
speed,
I feel like those cars pick up.
how crazy it looks.
They do. They're fucking insane. They are. They really are. But like if I like that question, the 200K, because that market is so weird. The 200K under market,
Especially right now.
911 GTS.
fuck no.
Come
Get
on.
out of here. Me, absolutely not. Bro. Throw it, bro.
GTS.
That's what you're getting at 200K.
It's
A
true.
Fucking,
It's crazy though.
aren't the GT4s
is crazy.
that price too? Or no,
They're
it's
more- they're
expensive?
more.
They're more expensive.
They are.
I don't know why the fuck
230,
anybody paid 200, 240 for that
For a
shit
GT4.
box. For that shit box. I can't believe it. Bro.
I would
For a 718, you're fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
I want one of those when I can have more than one car.
Right.
Want what?
A GT4 RS.
Like you're saying, if you had okay, let's say you had a 600, you're telling me your second car is a fucking GT4.
Maybe not my second car, but like I think that would be a great car. To go to
Really?
the canyons in.
You think?
Yeah.
Bro, what?
You wouldn't rather have like a
A GT3?
GT3?
Yeah. A Turbo S?
Oh, Turbo S's are crazy, bro.
I'd rather have a GT 4RS because it's smaller, it's lighter.
You know, this is the first time I think you said this to me, right? And it's blowing my fucking mind, the fact that you would drive that piece of shit.
Dude,
That 718 is, I think, in my opinion, is literally like the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think the only turnoff for me on the GT4s is like knowing that it's a 718.
yeah, I mean that hurts. But it would be. But again, it wouldn't be my first. It wouldn't be the
It
first.
would be like
car.
a third or
so
fourth.
it's. I would be getting that car because at that
Be my
point
fifth
I wouldn't care about the image of that car.
Right.
I only care about taking it to the canyons, the sound that it makes, like at 9,000 RPMs, all that stuff.
I will say it sounds cool. My best friend in Miami has a GT4 RS, clean spec. It rips.
Bro, but it's crazy, too, because, like, we're talking about canyons, bro. You can't even experience that shit in Miami, bro.
No, you can't. No canyons in Miami, dude.
I'm biased, though. I like Miami driving better than LA driving.
What?
Bro, as much as I know both of the white
Look,
boys with
he's
nice
got a-
hair are
he's-
going to sit
dude,
on
he's-
it.
That's crazy.
Bro,
He's
it's
just
the-
driving
it's the
down the
hair,
highway
bro.
with
It's the hair.
with an Aventador with the flame spitting.
Bro, hitting the causeway in this
It's
is,
fun.
bro, I promise you, Gavin, I promise you it's unmatched.
When people are in our comments calling us highway heroes,
Bro, I can't.
he's cool with it. You know,
There's something about
cool with it.
coming back from Miami Beach to down to Brickell, hitting the causeway at like 11 p.m. at night and just seeing everything lit up as I rip, just even a Huracan, which again, in Miami is fucking like a Camry.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
That feeling is something special that, in my opinion, LA doesn't have. Now, as much as LA has the nightlife, Hollywood, Beverly Hills, downtown,
Canyons.
the canyons, all that stuff is great. But I'm telling you, driving and looking, and your fucking water is right
Right under
here
there.
and on the other side as you're going to downtown. Like, in my opinion, you can't beat that.
I'll be honest. We have a good loop in Miami. Me and my boys will go hit a bridge that takes you to South Beach, but instead of going to South Beach, you can hit the tunnel.
Okay.
And we'll hit a tunnel that takes you under, rip through the tunnel,
Got to.
rip back through the tunnel, across the bridge, through Brickell, go see what's up, see if it's popping, and then we hit the freeway back to our apartment. And it's such a lit drive every time. It's like a 30, 45-minute loop. And it's the greatest time ever, honestly.
Yeah, that's like cruising with the homies.
It is. It is.
Elite.
It's super elite.
Because
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Imagine
the
that,
canyons aren't necessarily about who you're with.
That's fair.
It's
more
all
of a
it's
solo.
it is a solo experience.
It is every time I've come out here, I go to the canyon solo. Every time.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
have to.
I
Early in
almost
the
don't wanna go
morning,
to the canyons
you're ripping by a Miata and a 600 LT. And you're like,
Bro, last night I saw a 765 LT and a 458 ripping through like Sherman Oaks. Wow.
Shout out Sherman Oaks, baby.
shout out Sherman Oaks.
Wow.
Sherman Oaks.
That's where I live.
Oh yeah?
It's my spot.
Nice.
Shout out.
I think that's where I would go if I ever moved out here.
The
Sherman
Shokes?
Oaks. Yeah.
It's a great spot.
It's a nice spot.
It's very accessible to everything. It's kind of quiet.
In all reality, what brings you out
Ton
to
of great
LA?
food.
What brings me out to LA is I have an agency and we're doing a lot of work out here. We're starting to expand, getting some creators going out here, getting like a content house.
What kind of agency?
It's an OnlyFans agency.
Beat me that fucking question. I was literally cooking that. I had that fucking question sitting right here. You
Sorry.
So
OnlyFans agency, baby.
OnlyFans agency, yeah, it's pretty wishy-washy in a sense of like opinions, but I'm in a position to where it's pretty awesome.
I'm about to say, I feel like in today's day and age, that topic is so like, as much as people want to stray away from it,
It's
like,
very
people are like, how the fuck does that even work? Like, how does one even get involved in that industry?
well, in my case, I actually dated a porn star for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, hey, like I'm not making enough money. I feel like I should be making more. She's like making like 9 or 10K a month at like 18 years old, which is nuts. It's just ridiculous.
Stupid.
It's not
And
enough.
I'm making like maybe $2,000 a month at the time of meeting her. So I'm like, this could be an opportunity. Long story short, I'm managing her all by myself. I'm doing the marketing. I'm just helping her with content. I'm helping her with just everything that she
No
needs.
experience prior to this.
No experience
You're
prior
just
to
like,
this.
let's figure it out.
I was like, let's give it a shot. And then took her page from like doing like 10K a month to 40K a month within like 6 to 7 months, all by myself. And then finally I was like, once we parted ways, I was like, if I built a team for this and I had more hands on deck, I could scale and run more creators. So then what I did is I started doing partnerships with other agencies where I would be like the face of the agency and I would do the recruiting, because at the time I had a pretty decent following just from doing TikTok when I was younger, being on Instagram from like 16 years old, doing a bunch of shout out groups, whatever. And then I was like, okay, let me see if I can do outreach and land models. So then I would do outreach for all these agencies and I would get like a 5% kickback for every referral. And that was doing really well. But then it was like the issue became like, now I'm in the middle of the communication for the creator and the agency. So like, let's say the agency is not responding, it makes it hard for me to communicate with the creator. And then it comes back to me and the creator's like, what's going on?
Yeah,
and I look
middle.
stupid. Yeah.
You gotta make it happen.
Exactly. I got to make it happen. So then eventually it turned into this thing where I was like, dude, nobody's doing this how I want to do it. So I just started my own agency. I founded
Saw an opportunity.
Yeah, I saw an opportunity. I founded Manage Her a year and a half ago, and it started as a course on how to teach people how to do it. Because that was like something people wanted to know. Like all the questions I get, how can I do this? How can I do this? So I was like, let me see if I can provide value. The course was just so overwhelming in a sense of just like dealing with so many people that weren't ready to go all in. So I could deliver, but they weren't seeing results because they weren't like ready to just send it. So I was like, all right, screw the course. Met my partner, Nick, shout out Nick, and also Derek. They're like the back end team for everything now. And over the last 6 months, I've been working closely with Nick. We finally launched Manage Her 3.5 months ago. It's been killer. We have 15 models under our belt. We're doing some big things. We got a content house out here in Bel Air, which is sick.
Hell yeah, dude.
Finalizing some deals. That's what brings me to LA. The whole industry is pretty lucrative. It's very new, and it's also just rapidly growing.
How like do you like? And I think this is a funny word. How virgin do you think the market is?
For OF?
Yeah.
I think it's very virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I think
in terms
so.
of like you could see a lot of innovation, a lot more like a lot more just growth from this industry specifically.
So much more growth. Because you have to understand there's so many different streamlines feeding into OF. You have the YouTubers, you have the streamers, you have even athletes. You know, everybody is somehow involved with the industry, whether they know it or not, just because they're probably involved with a girl that does it. You know what I mean?
And from my understanding, OnlyFans doesn't have to be like explicit content.
It doesn't have to be.
It's just subscriber based content.
Subscriber base, yeah.
That's it. So like fucking anything else.
And it
But
can
since
be.
it has that stigmatism, or fucking I don't know what's the right word. Fucking,
It is.
what's
It
the
has
word?
that like stigma.
Stigma.
Yeah.
There it is.
Stigmatism is
Fucking-
in your eye.
Is it?
Yeah, bro, literally.
It's
Yeah,
an eye
the
condition.
stigma behind it, yeah.
Yeah, the
So
stigma.
like everybody just correlates to that, but nobody realizes what the potential could be.
Exactly. So there's like something called OFTV. And OFTV is a huge opportunity for creators to blow up their OF without doing explicit content. OFTV is like a regulated OF platform where it's like YouTube for creators that do OF. And you can like, there's girls on there doing oil changes on their motorcycles. And they're getting promoted on OF's front page, which is just helping them in the back end. And I think that's something that's pretty cool that
It's like
OF's
another
done.
funneling source almost.
It's another funneling source, and it's also just like it takes away the explicit side from OF and creates kind of like a more friendly side, just because everybody knows OF is like, oh, this is where all the bad stuff goes down. You know what I mean?
Right. It has, again, like it has that aura to it.
Exactly.
That's just, for me, I just think about how one gets involved with that shit. Like your story getting involved with it is hilarious to me. Because you said your girl was doing that type of content. She was doing OnlyFans? Or
She was a
on,
porn star.
like full blown.
Full blown.
Fucking,
Yeah.
that's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, and honestly, I shouldn't even say that it was like yeah, we dated, but it was more so just like a opportunity for us to both make money.
Right.
We kind of both foresaw like, okay, like I'm gonna help you make more money, and in return, I'm gonna get money from this. And it was a pretty good dynamic, pretty good duo for a while. But it just comes to time and points where you gotta like branch off and do your own thing, you know?
Did you ever imagine yourself being in this world?
Absolutely not. I always told myself though when I was younger, I was like, I'm not gonna live an average life. And to me, an average life is going to college and working a 9 to 5. And I was always like, I don't want to do that.
not the way.
It's just not for me.
not the way.
I tried working a job. I did DoorDash. I tried selling sneakers. I tried doing all kinds of stuff. And then finally, when I could make money for myself through this industry, I was like, I'm not leaving it. You know what I mean? And I think that like once I saw the opportunity, I just had to stick with it. And every time I've tried to stray away from it, I don't make the same amount of money. So it's like every time I come back to it, it's like, okay, this is my industry. You know what I
We
mean?
might as well just fucking own it.
Got to stick with it. Exactly.
Hey, bro, if you're vetted too and you kind of understand the way the game works, there's no reason you shouldn't lean into it.
Absolutely.
Fuck every other dynamic
You know?
that goes into it. For me, at least.
It's done enough to get you a 600 LT.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah. And like as I was saying, like I never saw myself doing like being like an average person, and if not being an average, living an average life entails this, so be it. You know.
When did you make the move to Miami?
So first, I moved out of my hometown at 18 to
where?
Los Angeles,
Where was the hometown?
Georgia, Carrollton, Georgia. It's like
You're a Georgia boy.
yeah, I'm a Georgia boy.
That explains a lot.
I just lost the accent. You know, I moved out and God, like city eyes, you know what I mean?
Right.
Went from Georgia to LA for a content house. I was living in a TikTok house for like 6 months. I had like a pretty big following on TikTok. Took all the money that I had in my bank account, drove across the country. I had $2,000 to my name. Rent in LA when I moved there was $2,000. I was like, I'm gonna make it work.
Right.
Me and my boy drove across the country in a 2-door Honda Civic with a U-Haul attached to us.
Pulling a U-Haul with a Civic.
Pulling a U-Haul with a Civic all the way across the country.
That's wild.
In a 2-door.
In a 2-door.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah. And then
I didn't know that. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's
You had a
nuts.
hitch on that thing?
Yeah, we had a hitch on it.
That's
I
the
have
most
videos of
Georgia
us getting the
shit I've ever
hitch.
heard in my
For
entire
real.
life. That's the most
We hitched
Georgia
a U-Haul
activities.
to a 2-door Civic.
Yeah.
Bro, that's
Headed to
fucking
LA.
Georgia activities.
It was crazy. And then from LA, when the house fell apart, we were like, okay, we can't go back to our hometown. Like, we just made it out. You know what I mean? Like, I had been telling everybody, as soon as I graduate, I'm going to move to LA. I'm going to move to LA. And everybody thought I was crazy. And then I finally did it. And I was like, okay, this fell apart. I can't go back.
Fuck no.
We snuck back to Georgia for like 10 days, stayed with his parents, found an apartment in Miami, signed the lease, not knowing how we were going to pay for it. And we just moved to Miami. And then I spent like the lease was like 7 months, I think. And the first month was free, which is why we did it. And then I was trying to do everything and anything I could to make money because I wasn't doing like the OnlyFans stuff. So then I was selling sneakers for like $50 to $100 profit every shoe, clothing item. I was trading stocks. I was trying to trade stocks. I was doing DoorDash. I was selling promotions as well. And I had like a little deal with Fashion Nova from TikTok. And that's how I paid my bills in LA, was from the Fashion Nova deal. And then 6 to 8, I would say like 6 months after that apartment in Miami, I was living in Orlando and somebody connected me with the girl that I met. I was living in Orlando. It was super cheap, no distractions. I was like, bro, like this is my only option. You know what I mean? I was living in a house with like 5 other people paying like $400 a month.
I feel you.
Trying to make it work. And then I met that girl and she was like, the connection was there. She was like, let's go to LA. We went to LA together, Miami, Orlando. And she's finally like, you want to move in with me? I was like, let's do it. And that's when we started doing business. And then
From that point on, it just fucking
just shot up. And then I moved to LA with her I moved back to LA for 8 months, from like April to October. I was like 6 months. And then that fell apart. And then I had a bunch of money stacked up because like that opportunity to help her with OF completely changed my life, to be honest. That's when I saw like $8,000 to $10,000 a month. And for me, I was like, holy shit.
for that first 8 to 10 month is fucking always like unlocks the brain. Like, what else is possible beyond this fucking point?
Exactly. And then I stacked all my money up. I drove the Ford Ranger to LA actually. And then I drove the Ford Ranger back to Miami, signed another lease for a year. I was probably making like 15 to 20K a month for that entire year. And then I moved to Orlando again, actually, because I wanted to lock in. I was spending money in Miami.
You were living the Miami life.
I was living Miami life on a budget because like in Miami, like
It'll
15
eat
to 20K in Miami if you like to go out, it does not
shit.
take you far.
Bro, 15 to 20K
Yeah.
in Miami ain't shit.
15 to 20K in Miami is like,
Because what's a night?
You need 100K a month in Miami
It's-
to be
yeah.
fucking doing it.
honestly, like if you're people, I got clowned on this in an interview because I was like 50K is the new broke in Miami. And someone was like, how are you going to say that if you only made 700K profit last year? That's like right at 50K a month. And I'm like, well, just because I think 50K a month is the new broke doesn't mean like I can't, like that's a standard of mine. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in Miami, you're never the biggest guy. There's always a bigger baller in Miami. You think you're that guy, and the next thing you know, somebody in a Bugatti's rolling up, and he's
Like
like,
this, bro. Like
he's
this.
like, oh, nice 600 LT.
Bro, like a motherfucker. Bro.
Exactly.
And it's just the amount of money you have to spend in Miami to like live the life in Miami that you want to live.
Exactly. Like if we cover my expenses right now, I'm paying 6K in rent. I'm paying 3,600 on the 600 LT. Food's like another 1,000. Insurance is like 700 a month.
Food's 1,000?
Yeah.
No.
Maybe more.
It's gotta
But
be more,
I do
bro.
meal prep. So
Okay, all right.
It's way more actually. It's
I would
probably
say
like
crib meals 1,000.
Yeah, crib
You
meals-
go out to dinner twice a week, you're spending at least fucking
400,
$400
500. Yeah. So I would say like 2 to 3K a month in food. So like already I'm sitting at like 10 to 15K in
That's just
expenses.
basic
Just a
shit.
basic
And that's
expenses.
just basis. Exactly. So that's just to give you the idea of like the expectation in Miami if you want to have a nice apartment, have a nice car, and just also be able to enjoy everything. And then obviously,
Think about that. The money that you're spending and just to live what we consider, I mean, granted, we're blessed that we can even say like that's like the basics and
The
stuff
basics,
like that.
exactly.
600 LTs is the basics.
Right.
But even still, like the scale level the game's at and how many more levels there are and how many levels are on below you too, to think that you got to make 50K a month to be able to put money away a little bit and kind of live like lavishly and stuff like that in a city. Because the problem for me, at least when I go to Miami, and why people don't understand your statement of 50K a month is like broke.
Yeah.
It's because in LA, there's different forms of life. Like you can do certain simple things in LA. There's free activities. You can kind of do this. The mountains, you can do a little bullshit.
Right.
In Miami, there's two lives. The working class that sees the money, or you're in the money doing the big shit.
Yeah.
And the big shit, no matter what level it is, you're paying the same price.
The same price.
You want to go to the
board.
clubs where everyone's at, you're paying big boy bottle service.
Easily.
You want to go to fucking these restaurants, it's not like they're making it cheaper for you, and you're not going to go. And the restaurants know that the cuisine, like, know what they're doing. Grutman, everything, they know what they're doing. Poppy Steak, they know what they're
going
doing.
to Poppy's
you,
for
bro.
$300.
No.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
You hear me?
I
It's
can go
impossible.
I can go to Nobu and have a good dinner for $300.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, no, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
very good, solid.
That's
dinner for $3.
solid.
Very much. So.
I mean,
That's
if
not
you're not like buying drinks,
Right.
like you want to just go,
if you're
just
just
to
like
eat
going like eat some good food, have a vibe
$300
in Malibu
by yourself,
looking at the ocean.
depending on who you are. If you're a larger human being like myself,
If
So I'll get 3 of this, 3 of that.
Joe can't do it. I don't eat that much.
that's
I'm
my
small.
problem, bro. That's my
And
problem.
my wife doesn't eat that much either. So
That's my problem.
We can go to Nobu and have like a nice dinner for like $300.
That's
but
fine. In Miami,
those
it's
places in
unreal.
Miami, like it's $300
basic.
for the steak,
Easily.
Basic.
just for them to
Easily.
light it on fire for
Basic,
you.
bro.
It's like
yeah.
130 just for the steak, and then the sides are like 20 each.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. And then again, you add drinks on top of that. And then this is the part that I feel like is, again, we're going to be really real here on that. I feel like this podcast is going to be a lot more real, just talking the
100%.
way that the fucking glamorous life lives. You're a young fucking 23-year-old dude. You're not going around by yourself. You're going to have girls with you. You're going to have chicks with you. You're going to be doing stuff like that. You're always going to have somebody with you. So all of a sudden you're paying for her shit. 'Cause that's just the way the world we live in.
It is.
Especially if
So
you're making 30, 40, 50K
100%.
a month.
Bro, you think that 600 LT is not meant for a bad on the passengers? That's what it's meant for. So again,
Literally.
it's the whole, your statement, I understand you 100%. Anybody that doesn't understand that statement doesn't understand the levels to the game and what it takes to be able to live that life if you want to be in the mix.
Exactly.
What game are you playing?
Exactly. What
different
game are you
games.
playing?
And it's also, don't be fooled. There's a lot of fake in Miami. There's a lot of people that you may think are making $250,000 a month. But I can tell you right now, I can make it look like I'm a multimillionaire off of 50K a month. Easily.
much so.
Easily. Anybody can do it. And that's the thing. That's the problem with Miami is like, you can't, the only way you can really tell is just like if you really get one interaction with that person, or you've already had a bunch of interactions with people similar and you kind of pick up on the pattern of like, okay, he's maybe not doing it as big as you think he is. But it's also just one of those things that like thief is comparison is the thief of joy. So it's like, you can't get too caught up in that because you never know who's actually living it and who's not. You know what I
Very much
mean?
so. But I feel like that's the whole lure and the problem with Miami is it you need to sell the dream. You
Just
have
sucks
to.
your money away.
It does.
It does. It does.
literally-
Which is why I moved to Orlando.
Which is why I moved to Orlando for those 8 months. And then that's when I started making real good money because my expenses were cut in half. There's no pretty girls in Orlando to distract you. Nothing compared to Miami. And food's super cheap. And there's nothing to do. You go to Disney, you go to Universal, and that's it. What else? I go to car meets. You know, Orlando was cool for car meets, I will say. Not like supercars. Very rare. There's like a group of supercar people there, but car meets, that's it. And I was just stacking. I was paying like $1,200 a month in rent, which like thinking about that now is
That's
like
wild.
to me. I'm like, wow, like
For what
that
kind
was
of, what kind
nothing.
of spot for $1,200?
It was a nice little spot in Orlando, downtown Orlando, 25th floor, city view, 2-bed, 2-bath, $1,200 a month.
Were you splitting that with someone?
I was splitting that, so it was $1,200 each.
Okay.
It's like $2,400
That's
each.
still total 100 for a two bed.
25th floor 2-bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, for 2,300.
23, what the
24. That's
fuck?
crazy.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I mean, Glenn.
It's probably gone up a little more. It's crazy.
You're paying more for a 3-story view in Glendale.
in Glendale. That's what I'm saying.
But in Miami, you're paying $2,500 for a studio now.
Yeah. Okay. You want to know the most? You want to know the most
You're
upsetting
paying
things for me?
$2,500 for a studio here.
Yeah.
Really?
You want to know the most upsetting thing for me? So when we were in college, okay, I'm big Miami. Everybody who knows me, who watches podcasts, they know Miami is my fucking second home. If I could change my life, it would be my first home. No bar none. When we even started this, he even made jokes. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to keep you here," type of shit.
Right.
Miami's always where I wanted to end up. Well, when I was in college, I was maybe 20, 21 years old. I would always look at apartments in Miami. Back when I was 21, so this would have been 2018, before anything pre-COVID and everything went parabolic. 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom brickle apartments were $2,100 to $2,400 a month.
Nothing.
People don't believe it.
Nothing.
You can go back and look. I used to look at it and go, bro, I can afford that. Like, I'm going to fucking, when I get out of here, I'm going and I'm just going to get one of these things and fucking do it. Life didn't push me in that direction, obviously.
Right.
But now, those same apartments, the problem is Miami has now worked itself to LA level.
It's
if
so
not
inflated.
surpassed it.
It's honestly
And
past
now
it.
It has. It really has. It's
But
surpassed
there was a time when he was like, I'm trying to move to Miami in like the next year.
Right, because
I
everything's
was like, you're gonna leave
everything's
me? I'm not gonna have any friends.
everything's there, everybody's there, and if not, they're gonna be there at some point. You know what I mean? And also, like after I lived in Orlando, you get like you miss it. You miss Miami because after you experience it once, you're like, I'm missing out.
Yo, that's the problem, bro.
You see everybody back in their high rise in their supercar.
You get it. It's like
Their
flying
Class A
first
is
class
cool.
for the first time, bro. You get a taste of that. You never want to go back.
Dude, I remember when I first lived in Miami. So when I first lived in Miami after the first LA trip, I had made like decent money that month. So I took my ass to South Beach and I had a dinner by myself. Spent like $110 and I felt like a baller. Steak and lobster. I was like, oh, I'm on South Ocean Drive, eating $110 dinner. I thought I was king of I was on top of the world. And then like you go back to Miami and you're like, oh, I miss this. You know, it's like the nice dinners. Everything's just so like. It sounds maybe bad or looks bad because it's like, oh, it's super materialistic or whatever, but like it's enjoyable. Like
It really
it's fulfilling because you're like, wow, like I attained this and I've achieved this and I can live this. And it's also just like you just feel better through your day to day. Your environment's amazing. You wake up, got the nice view, you feel motivated. You know, it's like the standards are up there. So now you have no other choice but to go harder. You know what I mean? It's like the meme guy math. Move into an expensive apartment to make more money. Buy an expensive car to make more money. You know what I mean?
That's it.
That's it. That's
That's
literally
the
it.
truth, though.
Pushes you to figure it out.
Exactly.
But it all based on the way you're wired. That's the one thing. As much as I don't want to talk too much shit about the type of people that are in Miami, the type of person that's there doing certain things. One thing it is that have in common, whether you're fucking doing it legit, you're scamming people, whatever you're doing, you're selling a dream. There's an innate desire to try to fucking make it.
Yeah.
Hustle to get after it. That's the one thing that I'll never shit on Miami because everybody with that mindset goes there because they know that everyone's like that. The problem is you have the different degrees of it.
Exactly.
Because you're in, as much as you live in Miami, you're doing your thing. You're in the thick of it.
Of course.
Like I know you're out doing your thing. Your other influencers, the whole nine.
Right.
So I know you see through and you weed through the bullshit.
And I've also been hit with a lot of bullshit. So like I kind of know what to expect now. You know what I mean? Like not even like a year ago, I dealt with some bullshit that we talked about earlier, and it's like now that I've dealt with that, I think it's going to be very hard to get over on me in Miami because I think I've kind of hit all the bullshit that I could hit, and I know what to expect now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of bullshit in Miami.
Easy to get taken advantage of, huh?
It's super easy to get taken advantage of because you meet these people that have somewhat of an influence, and you're like, okay, I can trust them.
Right.
But you can't. And it's like one of those things that goes back to trust nobody. Truly. It doesn't matter where you are. Even if you're not in Miami, trust nobody. Just because it's like, you never know what's really going on behind the scenes.
Until proven.
Exactly.
That's the whole
Did you ever see that Vice episode, literally from like 2018, about like the car rental game in Miami and stuff like that?
I remember seeing like and hearing briefly about it. It's pretty intense.
And then the dude that did the whole episode was like totally a scam.
Yeah.
He didn't even have
He
rental
didn't even
car
have
business.
nothing. He was just like a broker or something.
Yeah, he was literally just a broker. He was like renting cars from he would rent club, not MPH club. He was renting cars from MVP, and
Shout out Matt, baby.
And then sitting them out.
and illegally subleasing them
subleasing them, yeah.
to like rappers and stuff.
Fucking Matt, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
I actually talked to Matt about it when we were in Miami because I was like, bro, do you remember this thing? He goes, yes, bro. I was on that episode because that dude was renting stuff from me and then like flipping my cars.
That's crazy. It's so crazy. Like, and also in Miami, you know, the business, like it's so motivating. You know, you're in an environment where you know everybody's just trying to make as much money as they possibly can. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I have no choice but to get off my ass and make money. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not going to happen overnight, but if you're in that environment and you're surrounding yourself with the right people, you like, as soon as I moved back to Miami from Orlando and I was making good money, that's when within the first 6 months of me being back in Miami, I made the most money I've ever made in a month. And it was just because I was back in that environment of like, now I'm more established. I have more money to my name. I have more opportunities. I'm networking with more people. And it just all fell together. And it was just being in that environment, you know?
Yeah,
That's it.
meeting
it.
other people that know how to make money.
Exactly. and you know
they teach you.
everybody's there trying to make money.
Making money is its own skill.
Exactly.
What is the most common fucking like scammer car in Miami?
Scammer car?
Yeah. Like something like, in my opinion, if you were to go talk to somebody about like one of the big things we talked about this is like the validity that the Aventador brings to two of us. Like we pull up anywhere in this thing, SCC, you see that car, you're like, I don't know what they do, but they
Right.
do it.
It's hard
You
to
know what I mean?
fake it.
It's hard to
can't-
fake it.
It's
exactly.
hard to get the funding. It's hard to make the payment for an Aventador faking
I'm gonna
it.
tell you this quote right now. You cannot fake an Aventador. That's a fucking quote.
You can't.
You cannot fake an Aventador. I
You
don't
can
give a fuck
scam
who
an
it is.
Aventador.
You can scam one.
You can scam an
It'll run
Aventador.
out, but you cannot fake an Aventador. The
That's
payments
true.
on it, you cannot fake that shit. But
That's
in
so
Miami,
true.
I feel like there's a certain middle ground where there's a certain, you could, like you said, $50K a month
He just
could look
wants you
like.
to say, he has something in his mind that he wants you to say.
I think. All right. So I'm gonna keep it a buck
I
with
know
you.
you too well.
All right. So I wouldn't say it's a scammer car, but a very common car in Miami that's kind of like you would just think that like it's a rental and like that guy's not serious is a Huracan. Like
Miami destroyed that car.
the Miami's destroyed the Huracan. Like I remember being a kid sitting in those cars and I'm like, wow, this is the ultimate goal, Huracan. Now I look at a Huracan and I'm like, I don't even want that car. Like it's just like I'm seeing that car so much, and the reputation that car has is it's like, oh, it's a rental, oh, it's a rental, oh, it's a rental. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of guys that have Huracans. I don't like hate them, but it's just kind of like it's too common.
Very
Kind of
much
like you guys had a clip where you talked about the Urises here in LA
Yeah.
and how they're everywhere. That's the Huracan. That's like the Huracan is the Urus in Miami. How the Urus is, you know what I mean? It's like,
Drive to Beverly Hills and count the Urises. The
Yes.
Uri.
you know what's funny? When I rented the Urus for the last 2 days, I didn't see another Urus on the
Really?
road at all.
There's pockets.
Yeah, it just depends. Like one day last week, just it's so random. All of a sudden, I literally saw 5 in a day, and then
It
you
just
go
happens.
like a couple days you don't see one, and then one day it's like you see 4 again. It's just
It
weird.
just happens, bro.
But I think a scammer car in Miami is like a C8.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like the perfect fucking like that blend. Now
I
that it's
think
mid
it's-
engine too, it's like a whole like, no, I'm doing it, bro. I'm doing it.
I'm doing it,
Like,
exactly.
I'm like, bro, your shit's 70 bands. I'm like,
It's how the i8
it's
used
not-
to be.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh, the i8. Wow. I can't stand that car
Bro,
at all.
that's really how the i8 used to be. Like it was the original course car. That was
Yeah.
like the 2017 course car.
It really was.
Did you just put the i8 and the base C8 in the same fucking thing?
Just in how they're used. Yeah,
That's fucking crazy.
they're used in a similar way.
The problem that pisses me off is you're right. Like it's fucking.
Yeah.
It really
It's
is.
it's pretty fucked up, honestly.
super
The only
fucked
problem
up,
is
bro.
there's a ton of C8 owners who are just C8 owners, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
The i8, you didn't have many i8 owners.
No.
You only had an i8 if you were trying to stunt.
The time.
You know what's funny?
The time.
There's a YouTuber that I really like and that I've kept up with and I've also talked to, Danny Duncan. He has an i8. When he started making money on YouTube, he bought an i8, and he hasn't bought another car since. He's bought an i8 and a Tesla.
That's it.
That's it. And he still has his i8 to this day, I'm pretty
What the
sure.
fuck does Danny Duncan do on YouTube?
Dude, he does a bunch of funny shit, honestly.
shit.
He's a beast. I'm surprised you guys don't know about
Not
him.
a car guy then.
Not a car guy.
Okay.
Not
No,
a
that
car
makes
guy.
sense.
All right, that makes sense.
But he
I
bought
thought
the
it was a
i8.
car guy. I was like, the fuck is he doing with that?
He bought the i8, and I'm like, why an i8?
He just likes electric.
You know what I
cars.
mean?
It's disgusting. Bro.
With the little volume exhaust, like,
It's-
come
bro,
on,
That's
bro.
like so John Ross, who John Ross.
Yeah.
He held the record for fastest 40-yard dash
424, baby.
in the NFL Combine. Ridiculously fast receiver. I played with him at UW.
Nice.
And he had a Prius in college, which now he would have made an absolute bag in college. Now that they can get paid, but at the
the
time, he couldn't.
NIL deals or whatever it is.
It's disgusting.
But this dude had a Prius and was like loves like electric, kind of like clean cars, like environment stuff. So that was kind of always his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the NFL, got a Tesla and an i8.
No
It
way.
was like the i8 was like his thing because it's like this hybrid, like clean sports car. All that
Doors
stuff.
go up.
Yeah, it wasn't about being a car guy. It was just like, oh, I like that it's like a hybrid and it's a cool hybrid.
That's interesting.
I can't do it, bro.
I
just
can't do
it.
electric. I'll never do electric.
Electric for me, I would have a weird stance on it. As much.
I wouldn't
people
mind a
wanna talk
plaid.
shit- A plaid. Let me tell you, plaids, in my
Valid.
opinion, they fuck.
Valid.
Yeah,
That's the only thing though. The problem with those fucking cars is, for me, I can't believe that, like, people who never driven a plaid, when you really smash that motherfucker goes. So to think that some fucking Karen can just buy that shit and go kill herself with it,
It's pretty wild.
It's mind-boggling because that car is fast as a motherfucker. It's
fast as
People
fuck.
don't realize it, and it's one of those things because it's electric. The way you feel, I guess the power it's delivering, the way it hits you, it's different.
It's all at once.
So it's all at once. The feeling you get if you have not the type of reaction speed, or you have a little bit of like you get overwhelmed by it, you'll end up in a wall. That
Easily.
fast, bro. Like so,
Easily.
like the fact that they just
And
sling
the brakes
those
aren't
things,
big enough for it. Like,
not at all.
it's not built for that kind of
You
power.
ever driven Model X Plaid?
No.
Model X Plaid, even on top of it, like it's
Crazy.
Model S is faster. But
Right.
the X, because it's an SUV, it's so much
it
bigger.
still does like 2.6.
And it's ridiculous. Bro.
That's
It's-
crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Have you driven autopilot?
No.
That shit fucks.
You go on the highway in a Tesla and,
just
and
cruising
put it on
on autopilot.
autopilot, and you'll go, okay, I wouldn't mind having one of these.
It's pretty convenient.
oh, it's
I
incredible.
have a boy that has just a Model 3. He's a realtor out in Phoenix. He goes back and forth, does deals here, does deals in Phoenix. So on the 6-hour drive, he has full self-driving on his Tesla. He'll pop that thing on. Wow. He's got like a laptop with one of those like Verizon things that has like
Wi-Fi.
data all fucking thing.
Yeah.
He literally works for the 6-hour drive because the car will take it from LA to Phoenix.
That's crazy.
No problem at all.
That's so crazy.
And like it's just starting.
You know when you get out of a 6-hour drive and you're you're beat,
destroyed.
you're
completely.
tired, your legs are tired, your brain's tired. When you get out of a 6-hour autopilot drive,
You're like,
you feel fine.
You're chilling.
you feel like a new man.
Yeah,
You're
no
chilling,
energy
bro.
has been used. No
You're
energy
chilling.
gone. You get to your destination and you feel good. You're ready to go.
That's crazy.
It's low key it's a gift.
How do you feel about the Cybertruck?
He's got a deposit.
I do have a pause. It's ready. I just haven't gotten it yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I got the email. It's like your shit is ready, and I'm just sitting there. You're like, I don't know if I want it right now.
Dude, I've seen a lot
Timing's
out here in
off,
LA.
yeah.
I've seen a
They're
lot of
everywhere.
Cybertrucks out
You don't
here.
have
in
that
LA.
many in Miami?
We have a good amount in Miami too, but I was surprised to see as many as I did out here in LA too.
Tesla community is big out here.
It is.
That's the thing. Like
Huge.
I think we are like the number one Tesla community in the United States. Is like Southern California.
Southern California.
Most chargers, the infrastructure,
Everything.
Like the pinnacle. Again.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
the Cybertruck is just as much as it's a fucking crazy thing. It's just another Tesla.
A lot of apartments here have chargers.
It's honestly
in
not
the garages.
surprising that Tesla's and electric is super big here.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, exactly. So that's the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cybertrucks are super common here, and again, the
In the
same thing is,
traffic.
people
Hold on.
when they first came out, it was like a status symbol. Like, I have a Cybertruck
I have an
right
electric
when it
car.
fucking pops, because those things are going over MSRP, and at the end of the day, it's an electric vehicle.
Dude, people are renting those out in Miami for like $1,100, $1,200 a day.
How crazy is
Can you
that?
believe that? Yeah.
How crazy
Bro,
is
those
that?
went for like $300-$400 a year.
Whenever they first came out, dude, I knew a couple people renting them for $1,100 a day.
That's
easily.
disgusting.
Like
That's
candy.
Stupid.
That's
Yeah.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, what amazes me, and this is, I think it's funny because we went to Miami and we did a couple podcasts, like with Liram and fucking Matt. Like it's just the rental car community. It's amazing how strong that business is there.
It's so strong.
There's nowhere else, and again, LA is strong. There's nowhere else in the world where it's that strong.
But there's so much competition in Miami. There's not much competition here.
No,
in LA.
there is and there
There's
isn't.
a lot of rental brands.
I know there's a lot of rental brands, but I don't feel like it's as popular. You
That's
know,
what it
Yeah,
is.
it's not.
The
it's very
popularity
low
of it.
key. Like if you come out here and you want to rent a car, you're gonna know where to go.
Yes.
But if you come out here and you don't know anything about car rentals, you're gonna be clueless on who to rent a car
You gotta
from.
Google it. And
Yeah.
you funnel your shit through. And
Exactly.
Shit. Miami, there's fucking brands that have been established because
Everywhere.
It, in my opinion, is where everything started.
Yeah.
Because again, selling the fucking
dream.
Miami is the pinnacle of selling.
That's
the
why
dream.
there was that Vice video
Literally, I'm telling you.
back in 2018, 19.
Because we said that with Liam. He was talking about when they first started doing the business in like 2015, 2016. They were working off of like gray lines. Like, is this legal? Is this not legal? How did the
Right.
insurance work at the time? What's going on here? How is this going on? Now you got homies telling you what fucking is the best car to rent out. I'm gonna send you your fucking top 5 cars to rent out, and you're gonna get hooked up and shit like that. From
Comment
that
rental,
point
and
to
I'll
this
DM you the
point,
guy.
that's how crazy it's gotten. And I like, for me, it's one of those things where I see it, and it amazes me the fact that people can build businesses off of telling other people what fucking cars to buy so they can rent out. Because again, as much as I want to say it's a booming business, there's a limit.
I don't know how profitable it is.
It's not. Saturation will kill shit. Like, you even look at like, every business, every industry, saturation hits it differently.
Right.
But in that niche, there's only so much tourism.
Well,
There's only so much tourism.
just go back and listen to Matt on our episode. Like, he's scaled back so much.
He had to.
And he's like, look, I'm not trying to like push. I don't want to have 60 cars. He's like, it's such a headache. Like,
Right.
you don't want to be involved in that. And he's like, I just can't do that anymore. I got kids. I got a girl. I got all this stuff. I can't be doing that anymore. He's like, so he's making like a rental course.
Right.
But he's a guy that actually had
Everything.
a whole business.
Everything.
So
For
like,
years.
For years.
Years of experience.
Many years.
Vetted. Like, fucking actually vetted.
Literally.
if you want to
Not
go
like,
be,
I've been doing this for a year and a half. Here you go, bro.
Sign
I'm
up.
gonna tell you
Yeah.
what's up.
So he's doing that because he's like, I'm kind of tired of it. I kind of want to be out of this game. But if you want to rent cars, he's probably the guy you want to go get it from.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly. And I think that also the rental game is just super, it's very unreliable in a sense of like, not just like financially, but just like the people you're dealing with. You never know who's going to get in those cars. You
know
never
why?
know at all.
You
And
know
it's
why?
like,
You take a 200K product that the reason why we love these cars and why they make them the way they are is the barrier to entry.
right.
You need, I mean, granted, now it's a little different.
Yeah.
People with the right credit score, a certain age, you could, with a little bit down.
Statements.
You can make it work. But before, you took like for back in like, I would say pre-COVID, why rental was so amazing was because you took a product that the average person couldn't get into. That now all of a sudden with just a little bit, for a short time period, they can experience that.
Mm-hmm.
They can have that experience. Now it's the other way around where it's become so easy. The renting is even, so if you can't buy it and you're the type of person that's renting it, think about the type of person. Because now the barrier to entry to get a supercar is even less.
Yep.
So the person that doesn't have one is renting it is even less.
Exactly.
So those people, it's just, that's the whole reason the business is, in my opinion, it's just kind of working its way down.
How loud are all those rentals?
How loud? Loud as a motherfucker. Loud as a motherfucker.
You poke your head in a rental rolls.
To a $40,000 rolls,
You got to drive with the windows down.
you have to, bro. You fucking have to. You have to like a motherfucker.
It's bad.
It's sad, bro. It's sad.
And it's backwoods too.
It is backwoods. It's always
Yeah.
thick shit. It's always crazy shit.
It's that different smell.
I'm telling you, bro. It's that red eye Spirit flight to Miami.
Oh, the Spirit flight to Miami is crazy. And a red eye, that's wild.
The Gucci slides with
Land
no
at 6
socks
a.m.
on.
Bro, I'm telling you, land at 6 a.m. Just live it up. People fucking call me out for saying shit. I'm not stereotyping. This is like real fucking fact. If you know, you know. I don't know what else to tell you, bro. I really
Been on them flights.
100%.
So you said there's some grimy parts about the car
Yeah.
industry out there.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys actually that own dealerships in Miami, and I know some trustworthy ones, and I know some not trustworthy ones. And I think from what I've learned across the board is that no matter what, they're gonna want to get the good end of the deal. But in terms of grimy, like, you know, you might buy a rental and not even know that you bought a rental. You might buy a car that had a stopper on it. You might buy a car that's been rolled back. And if you're somebody that's not from that city and you have no idea about these things, you could get screwed over pretty bad. And I think that it's something that I think it's something that's so common in Miami that it's not even looked at as a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just so common that nobody honestly gives a fuck at that point.
So it's a 30,000-mile Huracan that says 10,000. Oh well.
Yeah, whatever.
That's it.
You know?
I feel like it's just a big game of dumping the problem to the next person.
Dumping the problem to the next person, and also bro, I could go look at Huracans in Miami. They're going to be 20,000 more than what they'll be anywhere else, and maybe not Florida, but in the country, you know?
Very
and it's
much
just
so.
because they know that that's the life of Miami is everybody wants a Huracan, and that they're going to pay a premium price to have a Huracan.
You gotta
Buy
pay
your
for it.
Huracan somewhere else. Bring it in.
Exactly. Or buy your
It's
car.
going to be
somewhere else, bring it
cheaper,
in.
and it's not going to be rusted out from the salt air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fucking true.
Exactly. And you probably haven't had 20 other people driving it.
20?
Yeah, you never know.
That's an understatement, though.
Yeah, that's honestly an understatement for the cars in Miami. You never know.
You think people are splitting payments on Huracans out there?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple people doing that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Get a group of guys.
Maybe the younger kids that are just getting to Miami, the 18, 19-year-old kids that are entrepreneurs that are maybe making enough money to split a payment with their boys. But I honestly don't think it's super common. I think there's a lot of people that do have Huracans in Miami, and then they kind of regret buying them because they're like, oh, everybody's got a fucking Huracan.
Right. All of a sudden, it's this doesn't do much for me.
That's why I went R8, honestly, when I had gotten the R8, because I was like, I don't see many R8s in Miami. And I think it's like a Lamborghini in a suit. And I also think it's much better than a Lamborghini in a sense of I've driven a Huracan Evo Spider here in LA actually, and I got rid of it after the first day because I was like, this is not fun. It sounds great. V10 sounds amazing, but it's not comfortable. And the fucking technology was horrible. The screen was barely working. It was just not, I wasn't a fan. And then I got on the R8, and I got pretty lucky with my R8. My R8 was tuned to all hell, shooting flame stock, which
ready
was
to go.
nuts. Yeah, ready to go. And Never really had any issues. The sound system was amazing compared to the Huracan. Honestly, the sound system was great. Seats were more comfortable, even in the Spider compared to the Huracan Spider. Like I had more room, and honestly, like it was smooth overall.
Can I ask you a weird one? What's the volume of like females that own supercars in Miami? You know a lot of chicks that are just driving around Huracans and fucking Cullies like it's nothing?
None.
None, really?
I know one girl
It's kind of
that.
a thing out here, and I mean
feel
not
like-
like a ton, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more common out here.
Really? Yeah. Actually, I can see that. I feel like I've seen some pretty like women driving nice
Like there's
cars out
female
here.
influencers that have nice whips and stuff like that, but like I feel like I don't know, maybe it's LA.
The
compared-
OnlyFans girls in Miami. Like I know there's an OnlyFans girl that has a Cybertruck.
And that's like probably the
That's probably like the craziest, yeah. There's another girl that has a GT4 RS, maybe not RS, but just
Daniel
a
Mack
GT4.
is asking an OnlyFans model in an M4 every other day what they do for a living.
fucking super fucking.
In an M4.
What do you do for a living? Oh,
I'm a content creator.
I'm a teacher. No, they say something totally not OnlyFans.
Totally not OnlyFans.
It's like
Everybody's
some
like-
random thing. Everyone's like, oh, sure. And then it's like, here's the link.
You go to the comments, some guys like, so did they get the link out?
What's her at?
Yeah, exactly.
Drop the at.
That shit is so terrible.
Yeah, there's not really many female supercar drivers. All the females in Miami's are just pretty much passenger princesses. That's it.
As I figured it should
You know,
be. As I figured it would be. In all
That too.
reality.
it's crazy how much of an impact the McLaren had compared to the R8 with women.
Let's
The
hear it.
R8 didn't make much of a statement, honestly,
Really?
with women. But as soon as I got the McLaren, it's been a pretty different ball game.
Doors go up, brother.
Yeah, doors go up.
Doors go up.
Prices go up.
Yes.
Prices go up.
Looks
Yeah.
a lot more.
Panties go down.
Panties go down. Doors go
Simple.
up. Panties down. Yeah.
Simple math.
Simple math.
Looks a lot more exotic.
It's so crazy how the effect that the McLaren has, honestly.
Bro, I'm telling
Even with just general people, not even women. That car gets so much attention. It's ridiculous.
Papaya Spark helps, I think. In my
I think the orange helps a lot. Somebody was like, "Are you gonna wrap it?" I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?
This is,
What?
This is
lost it?
MSO right here.
this is factory.
Bro,
Are you
it's
kidding me?"
Papaya
cover-
Spark's the best color.
Yeah, I'm gonna
in my
cover
opinion.
the MSO paint.
Literally, bro.
Yeah,
Papaya
it's
Spark
like,
is the
you out of
best
your
fucking
mind?
thing.
You can't even get this paint code.
I'm waiting for fucking SCC Miami Part 2. I'm gonna ship this motherfucker out there, and we're gonna go. I want to rip that little drive you told me.
So we'll rip the drive, and then I'll ship the McLaren out here, and we'll rip the drives out here.
Done.
That's what we'll
Consider
do.
it fucking done.
That's
Yeah.
what we'll do.
Angeles Crest will win.
Yes.
Dude, I gotta hit Mulholland in the McLaren. I need to hit that, and I needed to hit some of the canyons going down to
Mulholland, like from Studio City to Sherman Oaks, right
Yeah.
there.
It's a good drive.
I've hit that drive a lot.
Is that
It's a
top
good
tier?
drive.
Yeah, bro. During
I haven't done
COVID,
that this year.
During COVID is when I was ripping it with my boys.
I had a supercharged Lotus Elise for a little while, and then I got the 4C. And like during COVID, just middle of the day, I'd just be bored. I'd be like, I'm over this. Hop in the car,
Go for a
rip up,
drive.
rip down, come back.
Call it a day. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. Simple.
It's incredible.
And it's so satisfying, honestly. It
It's
really
awesome.
is.
There's sweeping turns, there's super tight turns. The views are ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. One of our roommates had a CLA 250, and we used to rip that through
In
Mulholland.
the CLA, that's a fucking foul, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty.
That's
It was
a red
pretty
flag.
foul.
That's a fucking a red car, whatever. Fuck.
That right there was a violation.
That was like
We were making the most of it, honestly.
Personally, I wasn't having it.
Where do you guys think I go from the 600 LT? Because I could tell you where I want to go,
my friend.
but like, it's more of like an elegant class than where I want to go compared to where I'm at now.
Now you're asking the right questions. So it all depends on what your goal is. Do you want a better supercar? Do you want a more luxurious car? What do you want?
488 Pista.
48 motherfucker, you're making a big jump, bitch. That's not
488 Pista.
That's a big jump.
Where do those go for right now?
500?
5?
Yeah.
High fours.
Yeah. High.
That's not bad.
It's like
No, not now. High fours. Okay, we haven't talked about this. They just cracked like 450. Like I think
Yeah.
Sean at ECF just got one. He's got a crazy. He's listing it for like 600, but they're like 450, 470. You can find them.
I mean, but
crazy.
do you really
Yeah.
think if
that's not
it's
gonna last long? That's not gonna last. long. That's
dude,
bottom.
If you
I
if
think.
you can
That's
get a pizza for 450 and you can afford it, you better scoop that up.
do you think that's a big jump? Because the McLaren's 200K and the 488 or 488 Pista's 480, 500.
That's a 300K jump.
It's like 2.5.
What was the R8 to the
2.5x.
Around what? Fucking 50 grand.
Yeah.
So think about it, making a 300K jump on this one. Now, granted, in my opinion, I feel like as you go, those jumps seem less and less.
Right.
But it just depends as you go. Like I went 458
Okay.
to 720 to this. So 458 720 was like the reasonable jump.
Yeah.
That was like, I think that was fucking 180 to
Two.
I think I ended up paying like
50?
240 for the car, and then California, the taxes, I had it here registered, so it ended up being like 260 something.
Yeah.
So 180 to 260, and then now 260 to fucking 400. So like those jumps are relative.
Those are relative, yeah.
But 200 to 500, not saying you can pull that off.
So I mean, like,
fucking run
If
it.
you could,
Yeah, but
you
of
could
course,
sandwich,
like-
you could sandwich an Aventador in between that jump.
But what do you think like is in between that 200 to 500? That's like honestly as baller as the McLaren and as
What-
crazy as the McLaren.
What do you want? Like the drive?
The drive. I want
baller?
the power.
You want the power.
I want the power, and also I want the aggressiveness. But it's like McLaren's really has got that class down of aggressiveness.
No, it
and
does.
Speed.
I'm
But
trying
I'm
to think of
I'm
something
a
besides
Ferrari
720.
guy.
That's the
I
problem.
love Ferraris.
720 is the obvious answer. Or 750
720.
maybe like is another answer.
I think 720 is the obvious
if
answer,
you're
but
looking for the speed, 720.
the 720 is like, bro, the 720 is a very minor jump.
It is.
Yeah.
Minor. I don't know about minor. It's minor in the sense where like, I think the difference is not. You can't really feel too much of a difference.
Maybe not power wise, but like price wise, it's pretty minor. It's
Price.
like maybe
Price wise is pretty minor.
30 to 50K difference.
That's the problem. I'm trying to think of something. To be honest with you, bro, if it's not a Aventador,
There's not many options.
But you could get like a modded out 720.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Tell you,
like a-
750.
yeah.
Like the 1016 kit for the 720 looks insane.
You can get 765.
You got like a 1016 720.
765
would be a nice one for 400, 440, 430. That would be a nice.
The thing
one.
is, here's going to be my hot take. You can get a 1016 720 for cheaper than a 765, and it's going to look crazier.
He's not wrong.
Am I wrong?
it will look
It
crazy.
would
Like-
look crazier.
It'll look
Miguel's
so crazy.
720 was like
No, that shit was fucking
So
stupid.
epic,
That
dude.
shit was stupid.
ridiculous.
My boy Miguel had the original fully clapped out 1016 720.
No way.
First thing, that thing also had a built motor. That shit was shooting nukes. Like
Oh my
Yeah,
the
that thing was crazy.
backfires on that car felt like literal cannonballs. Like when it hit you, you felt it in your chest. That shit was unreal. But then the car itself, let me find a
The kit's just
Find a clip
gorgeous.
real quick,
It's just like everything that the 720 needs. It
It's
adds
just
it.
there.
It adds it.
I'll
So
find a clip for you.
yeah, like that's gonna be.
Oh my god, bro.
And
So like that
I wish you. I
Goodness
can we find
gracious.
it looked better blue.
You guys need to put this on the screen because this is nuts.
So like that
With the roof scoop?
yeah, bro. Like that versus 765, yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, honestly, this is shitting on this
I'm
765.
telling you, bro. So that's a good looking one.
Like how?
You want the blue one?
Yes, when it was blue.
I got a good question for you guys too after we check
Like
this
look at
out.
this when it was blue.
Oh, that's
He
beautiful.
likes the blue. I like,
I like
honestly,
the
I like
blue.
the I like,
I like the
green.
blue.
I,
And the
I wasn't
navy
fucking with his wheels, but the color green I like.
Bro, the wheels with
Dude, that's beautiful.
yeah, this car is stupid.
And again, it correlated to the drive, the sound, everything between that car.
You
was
think that's not getting
literally-
attention?
That's for
Pull
sure.
around in that.
Yeah. What was the car that got you into cars?
Oh, what a question, bro. You got it?
Bro, I don't even know.
I can give you mine.
Hit it.
Yeah.
Nissan GTR.
Nissan GTR got you into cars.
Yep.
Like when you say getting in a car, you mean like I drove
Like
it?
like opening me up as a kid to like what cars were. Like
Driving it or
like,
just seeing?
Just seeing it.
Seeing
And
it?
like also riding in it. I was like 13, 14 riding my bike in my neighborhood. I see a GTR in somebody's garage and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Go up, see it. I go for a ride in it. I'm like, wow, this is unreal. And then I finally drove a GTR for the first time. And it was such a letdown. It was such a letdown.
Bro, those cars fucking suck.
Dude, the transmission's
heavy-
so clunky.
They're
It's
heavy as
like
shit. It's just the whole nine, bro.
unless it's fully built, it's not a fun car. And I hate to say this because I love the GTRs, but it's like after I drove that car, I was just like, it did not feel like that when I was a kid.
Let me
Like
tell you, your love for him is very Georgia of you. Let me tell you that.
Really?
It's Georgia activities. Yeah.
Really?
It is, bro.
Interesting.
It is. Those cars. I mean, they're here. They're very popular too. It's like Hellcat energy you're giving me right now.
I don't wouldn't say Hellcat and Nissan together like that. Hellcat energy's crazy. I'd get a Hellcat.
All right, so I think I can kind of give an answer.
Hey, mate.
It's kind of multi-part because when I was really young, my dad got a Dodge Viper.
Ooh,
And
that's
so-
a sick car.
And then he had a Corvette after that. So like he had a couple sports cars, and that's probably what like got me started.
Right.
But then like earliest memory of seeing a car and thinking,
Wow.
what is this? This thing's crazy. Was and actually a red Testarossa
Wow.
I saw in a parking lot at a football game.
That's pretty sick.
And I was probably like 7 years old. And it wasn't a new car at the time. It was an old car. It was an old Ferrari even at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But at 7, 8 years old, I vividly remember still seeing this red Testarossa and going, whatever like this is, I want a part of it.
Yeah.
And it's never been the same since.
Some more Georgia shit for you.
Hit me.
My dad's best friend growing up had a Fox body, fully built
Georgia shit.
drag build. Yeah.
That's Georgia shit. That's
that
badass though.
that as a kid was the first like car that I remember hearing and seeing. I was like, well, that's crazy. And then the GTR, and then I was in Texas visiting my mom for the first time, and there was a Super Leggera, a Lamborghini Super Leggera, and the guy let me take a picture in it, sit in it, and I was like, whoa.
That did it for you.
That did it for me completely. That was like the icing on the cake.
What was yours?
My answer similar to yours. When the old man got the C6 ZR1, that like riding passenger, getting to drive it a little bit, that car was crazy. At the time he took me the fastest I ever been in that car. I forgot exactly how old I was. I want to say I was like early high school, maybe like late elementary school. We went 182 in that thing, and that shit, that passenger ride, like. The feeling that car gave me, and like just seeing the paint and the fucking sound is what kind of like gave me the initial bite. And then again, start growing up, seeing Aventadors and the whole nine. That's what kind of like sealed the deal for me. But that's probably what did it, was C601.
Wow, that's a crazy car to get like the first experience of cars, like get a taste of car in, honestly.
Like he'd been Corvette.
His grandpa had them all.
Yeah, but like my grandpa's owned every kind of Corvette.
He's had them all.
Like
What a
literally,
beast.
He's had them all.
I think I need to own a C601 at least once in my life. Although I don't miss that outdated interior.
That's the only problem.
I love those cars.
You live it out.
They look insane.
They're
And
fucking sexy. Bro.
They're just ridiculous
They're sexy.
across the board.
They're supposed to be faster than these. Supposedly. There's
So
a couple videos of these things going, and supposedly a C6 walks it, but I don't believe
Why are you a Ferrari?
I don't believe it.
Why are you a Ferrari boy?
I think I'm a Ferrari guy mainly because I think it's just a very elegant and like classy flex. It's like old money.
Yeah.
it is.
And like I'm in my like young money era right now, which I'm enjoying. But like eventually I wanna boss up, and I think the Ferrari's just like you pull up super just like it's a Ferrari. Like this guy's he's
classy.
got it, you know. It's like I know Bruce Wayne drives the Lamborghini, but it's like almost like similar. It's like old money, you know. It's
It was like it was pre-Huracan.
it's pre-Huracan,
Yeah.
exactly.
The Huracan really did something,
The Huracan did do something.
and the Urus.
And
It's
the Urus.
taken.
When you got an
it's
iced
taken
out AP, are you
Lamborghini.
getting out of a Ferrari, you're getting out of a Lambo.
You're getting
Or
out of a
McLaren.
You're getting out of a Lambo.
That's
in
what I'm saying.
a
It's the-
the
it's the-
iced out AP.
It's the energy. You know what I'm saying?
It is
Like,
the energy.
It's a little bit of the combination, because like I think for me it was what it was is like the 458 being 4 years before the fucking Huracan. Mm-hmm. Those 4 years is kind of like that 458 was the beginning of like the modern supercar, in my opinion. So like Ferrari got that 4 year head jump before Lambo came on the
Lambo
scene,
did.
because as much as people want to talk about Gallardos being half-assed decent cars, back when in 2010, 2011, I don't give a fuck, they were shit. I
Yeah.
don't care what anybody says. I don't care anything. 458 versus a fucking Gallardo, there was no
Comparison.
comparing the two. There was none. So those 4 years of like Ferrari dominance is what has crept it above Lamborghini. But now, I think Lambo's ahead of Ferrari now.
I think so.
That I still remember seeing the first 458 I saw. It's at a Panda Express.
Really?
Places, yeah. It's white. It's gorgeous.
I remember the first 488. The only 488 I drove was a 488 Spider in Miami, and I was cool with this guy that owned a rental company, and he was like, "Here, take it for the day." That car was like, this was when I had my C6, and I'm driving the Ferrari, and I'm just the sound, the shifts, it's so snappy. I was like, this is a sick car.
This is it.
This is a sick car. And then my buddy got a 488 GTB. Stealth PPF, Vossen, like silver wheels, lowered spacers, downpipe tune. I was like, what? This is ridiculous. Like, this is what I need, you know?
Dude, a white 488 with a full red interior is tough to beat.
No, it's very
Unreal. My buddy just had one, but he got rid of it because he was having problems with it.
Really?
Oh, F8.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a fucking perfect segue.
Honestly, yeah. that'd
F8.
be-
Why did I not think of that? Bro, you
Damn,
do-
I totally forgot about that.
There you go. That's the car. You want to start? Sorry if my autism just came out. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you want a perfect Segway car, before the 500K jump,
F8 Spider.
you can pick up from mid threes, low threes.
Those things are
F8
sick.
Spider, bro.
Get a
Tell you.
white one with an all red interior.
Exhaust, wheels. That's all you even need.
Those cars are so nuts.
Matte PPF on the white.
Yep.
They got good turbo spools too. And I like my turbo spools.
There you go.
Honestly, like I don't miss the V10 at all.
That's your answer.
Believe it or not. I don't miss the V10 one bit.
You're welcome, bitch.
Like, yeah, I appreciate that. When I get the FA, I'll send you a picture.
It's all red.
I'm gonna post the story. This is because my guy over here hooking it up.
Dude, that all red Alcantara interior at that Eurocar F8. That's just
Stupid.
it was.
I like the.
Sitting in that car was like nothing else, other than the Huracan Perf.
What do you think about the SF90s?
That's an interesting one.
Because I think
You hear good things, you hear bad things.
they look pretty crazy.
They look
They do look
insane.
crazy.
They look ridiculous.
Price has been so fluctuating that it's kind of fucking like difficult.
It's kind of scary
It's
to even get
terrifying.
in the park with that.
Like there's people that are eating like buying over 700 and they're being worth 450 now.
I feel like everyone that is big on driving experience ends up hating that car.
It's too numb.
Yeah,
That's what I hear.
everyone's like, oh, it's just really fast, and it's like you don't really feel anything.
Yeah. Close buddy of ours had one, drove it, didn't really like it, too quiet.
Really?
Yeah, in my opinion, or the way he described it, is too numb.
We've heard that story multiple times.
That's it. It's just too numb of a car.
You know, it's a car I don't hear about a lot. 296 GTB.
You don't hear a lot about it.
It's because they're as much as a Pista.
That's why. Exactly. And
It's
they're,
crazy.
They're kind of half-assed the same thing as an
who's buying
SF90, just slower version.
They are.
of it.
They are.
I've
all
heard
it
good
is.
things. I've heard great things about the 296.
I have as
Well,
well.
exhaust.
No, like a lot of who was telling me that they knew a bunch of SF90 owners that got the 296 and then sold the SF90 right after because they were like, this is better.
And
For
honestly,
less.
Yeah.
it sounds pretty good for being a V6 hybrid. If I'm not mistaken, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
They sound pretty good.
There's a Mansory one that I see nearby pretty often. But I pretty much hate all Mansory kits, but the 296 one, it's not the full craziness. It's just got like the front bumper and the got the
Why are you
skirts.
hating on the Mansory kids?
Bro, do you like Mansory?
I like the Mansory 488.
The Mansory 488.
There's
oh,
a
like
pretty
this-
sick kit for the 488s.
with like the sharp pointed. Okay.
You want the answer to that question? Why he hates on Mansory kits? Do you want me to give you that answer for him?
Tell me, and I have something crazy for you guys.
He hates the fact that on most Mansory kits, the exhaust tips are just fake fucking tips.
That's not it.
That's what it is.
That's just the year. That's
So, like,
just the
the
Urus.
Urus-
It's just the year.
The Urus has like a fake tri.
I think
tri-
that, I think that
has, like, the
Mansory
OG
Urus
tip.
is hideous though.
That's why he hates it.
You know what's funny?
What?
My roommate's gonna watch this. He's getting his Urus dropped off to put a Mansory kit on it.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Get a 1016 kit.
What's
It's so
what's
much
your
better.
roommate's name?
His name's Ethan.
Ethan, fuck you. That's not a good decision, bro. That's not a good.
I'm really,
Don't do that shit.
I'm really fanboying Peter this episode, but I gotta hand it to him. His kits are solid.
1016,
It's,
baby.
It's It's like 1016 kit.
1016,
He's got the
baby.
1016 kit.
Shout out 1016.
You know
For
what's
me,
sponsored?
the 1016 stuff, like what he does such a good job at, is it makes the car look crazier and stands out, but it's not overly done.
It's not overdone, yeah.
Everything Mansory is just overdone.
This looks really good.
Like all the stuff that
Carbon fiber everywhere.
Lip, hood, rockers.
That's all you need.
diffuser,
like that 720
wing.
was Mansory kit. They're doing like what Vorsteiner used to do.
Just make the nice subtle touches.
You know something grimy that I forgot to mention in Miami? You guys are about to be blown away. Fake Brabus kits, fake Mansory kits.
Bro, I've heard of this.
Where they
I've
get
heard
'em?
of this. I've heard of this.
I don't know.
You don't know where they get them?
I don't know where they get them, but they're not real.
You think you just order that stuff on?
There's a
Temu?
lot of
No, so what happens is you can order from China suppliers.
Exactly.
What happens is there's two ways to do it. China suppliers, like for example, like as much as it is, you like the exhaust thing. You get an exhaust, you get a Brabus car, you fucking figure out the dimensions, you send the design out to China, they fucking get them, you ship them, you warehouse them, you sell them.
That's it.
That's the number one way, like the fucking hashtag Valvetronic way, whatever you want to call it. That's our boy, but like as much as it is, that's how we started the company. It's that way.
Yeah.
Or you have shops.
That's what they do to him.
Exactly.
That's yeah, exactly.
The shops, they'll build these fucking things.
That's what they do to Alex.
Yeah.
He was telling the
exactly.
same thing. They take
Exactly.
the exhaust, they scan it, they try to remake it.
That's
bad
what happens.
materials.
That's what happens with Brabus and Mansory.
And there's a lot of dealerships in Miami that are selling these like Brabus
And they
kit
say like
cars
they're Brabus.
for
They're not-
like
they're not.
way
Don't get
over
me wrong.
sticker.
There's shops in Miami that I know for a fact build replica kits,
And
that
they
are
do
so
good.
fucking good.
They look great.
Yeah.
but they're not Brabus.
So that makes
Exactly.
me wonder because I saw a Mansory Urus up close one time, and this kit was garbage.
It looked like shit.
The fitment was garbage.
Horrible.
The weave was off on like there was like mistakes in the weave on a lot of the carbon pieces, blemishes in the weave and stuff. and I was looking at it, wondering, is this really
What a Mansory
what a
kit looks
Mansory
like.
kit? Because Mansory kits are hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You want a fun fact? There's only one true Brabus Rocket G-Wagon here in LA, in SoCal.
No way.
There's only one. So if you ever see one,
It's
I
not
guarantee you it's not a real one.
Because it's not in the Brabus.
It's not out
garage.
in the streets.
That's crazy.
It's
Brabus
at
warehouse.
Brabus North America.
That's
Like, it's
crazy.
not out in the fucking streets. There's only one real Brabus Rocket 800.
Well,
whatever the fuck they call it at.
You see Brabuses left and right in Miami.
Yeah.
Left and right.
I don't know about Miami, how many there are out there, but I know Brabus North
Here?
America, that's fucking stationed here.
Only
They
one.
have one, and it's with them.
That
That's
should make
crazy.
a great clip. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
You made it easy too. You got the hook. You got the content. Boom, boom, boom. Cut, cut, cut.
My boy's been doing
Run it up.
content before we fucking were even in this game.
That was one thing that I was like, when it hit me, I was like, oh, I got to say this.
Yeah.
Because,
Even
like,
just the
bro,
hook. Oh, one more grimy thing that's gonna blow you away. Like everyone's gonna be like, I gotta see.
Brabus kids.
Yeah.
Fake Brabus kids. And
That is
Mansory
common
kids.
though.
It's
It's
very
fucking
common.
super, it's sad. But again,
It's
it's,
so
the same thing.
common.
It's a supply and demand thing. Like
Yeah.
they don't pump them out the price tags too much. People are like, I can make this cheaper and half-ass decent. Let's fucking run it up.
Yeah, why not?
Exactly.
It's that simple, bro. It's that simple.
So where do you go from this?
You motherfucker. That's a good question. I think I've talked about this on one of the podcasts, like very briefly, but I'm 100% going off of this to a 2-car lineup.
Nice.
So to be honest with you, what I want after this is I want an F8 and a wide body Urus.
Nice.
F8.
Yeah,
This is
That's a
new.
f- that's
Thought
a
you didn't like
lineup.
the-
that's what I want. I have a buddy, shout out John Bowles. His F8 is what put me on to liking F8s.
Really?
He's got Boston's on it, lowered, upgraded turbos, exhaust, matte black PPF. Like that shit is so clean to the point I look at that car and it's still drivable. It's nothing crazy.
Right.
Interior's all carbon, beautiful. For like that
smell
car for
it.
mid
You
threes.
buying that car?
It's
You
perfect.
smell it.
Yeah.
Smells like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, exactly. So you have that on the weekends, and then you got a fucking wide body Urus for the daily.
Yeah.
That I can probably get both of those for what I paid for this thing, and that's probably gonna be my next move.
That's a good lineup.
Side up to the two of them.
Is your buddy getting a real kit?
I don't know, honestly. He's paying. I
Real
don't know
money?
if there's nothing.
I was like,
considered
dollar
as a
amount
real-
really gonna fucking justify
I
it?
can't really say there's a
can't.
real such thing as a real kit for what he's doing, honestly.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But
You
I mean,
never
he's
know.
paying premium price, so I would assume it's gonna look great.
I hope Ethan gets hooked up. I
Yeah.
hope Ethan gets hooked up. Whatever. It is what it is. You gonna run these questions?
We can. You ready to go?
I'm ready. I think he's ready for it, as much as he might not be ready for it.
I don't know if I'm ready. Let's see what we got.
Same 3 questions. Same guest. Every guest gets the same 3 questions.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure
you've probably
seen
seen
the
some of these
clips.
clips.
Okay.
I'm gonna really nail this hook.
Hit it.
What's the most overrated car today?
Overrated. I think, and I hate to be this guy because we're here with all these Beamers. I think Beamers are overrated.
Just all of them.
Dude,
Just all
I think Beamers are overrated too. to be
I
honest
think
with you.
Beamers
I
are
really do.
overrated, man. I don't
Anybody
know.
who would sell them and shit like that for a living, I just couldn't imagine doing that. shit. But
why are Beamers overrated?
Maybe it's just because I've never been a Beamer guy.
Yeah.
And I think that like just the Beamer community is like, I don't know. They make me feel some type of way, and it just does not resonate. I don't feel like I could just be like tight with the Beamers like
They're
that.
just aspirational Porsche guys.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. This is a stepping stone.
Yeah.
I feel like if you like American cars growing up, you usually tend to stray away from Beamers.
That's it. That's all it is.
That's all that it is. So like you being a Corvette guy, I know for a fact that Beamers just don't do it for you.
Dude,
'Cause
Corvettes.
they're just different cars.
Completely
the way
different.
they feel, the way they put power down. If you like Corvette, you usually do not like Beamers. It's just
Also-
correlations. You don't like Porsche either. It's the same way.
Yeah. Also, the V8 twin turbo and the C63S was like a European muscle car.
Right.
So having that with the luxury, and then also owning like an American muscle car, and then being in an M3, driving one for like a week, it didn't sit with me. You know
The
what I mean?
newest M3.
Yeah, the newest one
Didn't hit.
didn't hit.
Kinda like-
Maybe like a fully built one, downpipe tune would hit. Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Those bucket
But-
seats are clean though.
Yeah, the bucket seats are clean. Like I'm not saying I don't like how they look. I just think they're overrated.
Yeah.
Honestly, Hellcats too. Hellcats too.
Is anyone highly rating Hellcats?
Oh, I could find you a community that's highly rated.
100%. Yeah.
For it to be
100%.
overrated, it's
like,
got to
give-
be rated highly.
Give
to
me
begin
5 minutes on Instagram.
Sorry, Liam. My friend Liam just bought a Hellcat.
with. Dang,
Fuck you too, man.
that hurts. Challenger.
Challenger. Or no, Charger.
I feel like that's a little better.
That's valid.
That's a little better.
That's valid.
A
I
wide
can't-
body Charger Hellcat.
It is a little better.
They're
I don't
pretty-
know why it's a little better.
They're
but it's
clean.
a little bit better.
I
Because
gotta
then it's
give
like,
it to
I got a
them.
crazy sedan.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I get the boys in the back. I got whatever.
Right.
Throw a car seat back there.
Or fucking
I'm the cool dad.
menaces.
I'm the cool.
Compared to the Challenger, it's just like, what are you doing, bro?
Right, exactly.
What
have
is
to
this?
I
This
have to say
big boat of a
bangers.
car that they've been making since 2008.
Only go straight.
Only
That's
go
it.
straight. That's it.
For real.
And sideways.
That's it. A whole lot of sideways.
A whole lot of sideways.
into things.
What's the most underrated car?
Dude, you already know what I'm going to say. C7. C7 Z06 all day long.
Best fucking answer.
Dude, I don't care what anybody says. That car, best bang for your buck.
It is.
Best bang for your buck.
I still think by this day. You've heard it a million times.
Pick one up for 70 grand.
Reliability, power to weight as well,
Sound.
sound,
Even looks, bro.
looks.
Yeah.
It looks so aggressive. Dude,
You got the ground effects package. Those things rolling on the highway look amazing.
It looks amazing. Ground effects, you lower it on the stock lowering bolts and you throw like a little spacer in there. Bro,
You're chilling.
you're chilling. You don't even have to do anything else to the car if you really don't want to.
Pop the T-top off, bro. What?
Dude, are you kidding me? You get a convertible essentially and it's hardtop.
Bro, it's fuck. I'm telling you.
Come on.
Corvettes are just goated.
You can't say no to that.
The C706 is a great car.
It's an amazing
We've talked
car.
about it a million times. It's a great car.
I love it.
I think it's honestly
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I'm so biased on that car too, honestly. It's after owning one, I can say that's probably like the only car I think about after having the McLaren. Cuz it's just so raw. The Z06 is so raw, dude.
It is kind of a unique car.
And the gears are so long, dude, that it's like you're just in it for forever and then it's finally like, all right, next gear.
A manual too.
Next
I
gear.
never got to drive a manual one, so like that I can't even imagine what that feels like.
Dude, it's unreal.
You're more connected to it.
So much more connected to it.
It's fucking awesome.
It's pretty sick. One thing that people don't know about the C7 Z06s, the manual ones, is a lot of people will be like, it's manual, has paddle shifters, it has active rev match. So you can just click the paddle, both paddles activate active rev match. You just click it, and then when you downshift it, rev matches for you. Which kind of takes away the fun from driving a manual. But like if you're not trying to just rev match every
Yeah,
time
exactly.
you downshift,
It's like it's not worth it.
it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Sounds good.
Sounds great. The rev matches on that thing are perfect.
It's a great answer.
It is.
I'm glad you answered it like that with the passion and everything. So, the last one.
Let's run it.
This one's gonna be interesting. I have no clue where you're gonna go with this.
Oh god.
I'm trying to think where he's gonna go.
I don't
where
know.
he's-
I,
don't-
I
don't
feel like
know.
I'm gonna. I got no clue. I got one guess in my head for one car. Okay. 3-car garage, no budget.
Ford GT.
Okay.
The new one or the 0506?
The old one.
You
I like the
Georgia
old one.
motherfucker. Yeah.
0506.
0506. Just because I saw what's his name, the guy. He does Amazon stuff, and he has the newer one.
Dawson.
No, not Dawson.
Kunze.
The other guy.
Ecom?
Ecom side hustle.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I saw his, and I was like, it's nice, but I like the older one.
It's Carbon Series.
I know. It's,
Okay.
it's sick. It's pretty
Shout
dope.
out.
When's the last
Shout
time
out
you saw
Ecom.
one in person? Because those cars are stupid.
Dude, last time I saw one in person was like on Instagram. Not even.
They are pretty.
They're
stupid
so
in person.
flat, and that like hole in the back fenders, and, like
Dude.
from the back, everything. That car's insane.
And it's an investment, dog. You're never gonna lose money on that car. Never.
But the 0506 looks great too. I remember the first time I saw one of those too, in a parking lot.
Ford GT.
Can't we just name drop Ecom? I hate it. I hate it so much.
Ford GT.
Shout out Kunze.
Yeah.
What else would I do? Ford GT.
Shout him out like he's listening.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna send him this bit so he knows he got shouted out.
I need a Ferrari, so I'll do 488 Pista,
Okay.
and then I need some American muscle.
We got no budget.
I respect it though.
I need some
respect it.
American muscle. I don't know. It's hard, dude. No budget. Honestly, you know what? Fuck it. Pagani Huayra.
Yeah.
Pagani Huayra for GT and the Pista.
It's not a bad fucking 3-car at all.
No, that's pretty wild.
Pagani's like one of those cars that's on the bucket list. That's like maybe when I'm like 40 years old, I'll have that.
It's art.
It's unreal.
You know how crazy it is that even you just say 40?
Yeah, honestly.
What a mindset. That's incredible.
40.
No, that's
For
great
him,
because
that's
most people are
fucking-
like, maybe when I'm 40, I'll
Like,
get a 911.
No. When I'm
You're
40,
like,
I need
That's
a
what, 17 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he's got it.
No, 100%. I'm just saying that's
For
that's a
35.
crazy thought. For me, I'm 10 years away now. That hurts, but
That's
I
the
don't know, maybe I'll
lineup.
be there. Maybe I can be there in 10 years. I'm building.
Dude,
SCC
we live
to
in
the
a
moon.
we live in a time where there's no
SEC to the moon.
SCC to the moon. SCC to the moon. Sorry.
That's all right.
there's no limitations to what's possible. I feel like in today's age, I feel like we have such an easy opportunity to make money through
The internet.
these
That
guys
fucking box in your pocket.
right here. This can either be the death of you, or this can be the blueprint to your success.
Goddamn right, brother.
You sound like you took Andrew Tate's course.
You goddamn right.
No,
Bro, I think everybody could use a little dose of Andrew Tate. That's
Dude,
just my own fucking
Hey,
opinion.
he figured something out.
He figured a lot of shit out.
Yeah.
Figured a lot of shit out.
dude, he's put like a mentality into the world of like doing whatever the fuck you want without thinking twice about like the price. Like he's that guy that's opened up my mind to like the ability to be able to like have so much money at a certain points where you can just be like, oh yeah, I want 2 of these, 3 of those, and I'm gonna take this PJ wherever the fuck I want. Like that's a crazy mindset, and that's a crazy way to live.
So it's all obtainable though.
And nobody's probably up until him has really even been aware of that. You know?
People out there are doing it,
They are, and they're just not publicizing it or anything
Right.
like that, which is probably good.
which just means that it's doable.
Exactly.
It's doable.
And he's opened up to me. I think he's done good in a sense of like realizing like there's so much more. Like there's infinite amount of money just that can be touched.
Just how can you put it in your pocket?
And how do you put it in your pocket? How do you get in the middle of the flow, the cash flow?
That's it.
Yeah.
I just thought you were gonna go LaFerrari with no budget and being a Ferrari guy.
I like the Pista.
I'm a LaFerrari guy. whore.
LaFerrari's crazy. Honestly, I folded on that.
Sorry.
I folded on that.
I would do bad things for LaFerrari. I'm telling everybody right now.
I don't know who
bad
wouldn't,
things for it.
honestly.
I would do bad things for it. I make an OnlyFans for it. Tell you right now.
Coming soon.
What's the average price for a subscription?
Average price for a subscription is between $10 and $20.
10, 20 bucks?
Entry price, but you can run a constant discount. So what a lot of creators do is they have their page set like $10 to $20, and then they run a constant discount just to get people in the page. So then once they get people in the page, they can get them hooked to where they pay the renew. So then going into the next month, that's when you pay the $10 to $20.
Got it.
10, 15, and 20 are like the top 3 common prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be volume based. I do $4.99 a month. I get my shit up there.
But the thing is like you can do volume base, and you can have like you can do volume base with the discount that you're running. So you're getting volume and you're getting recurring, which is pretty good. Because imagine you have 1,000 people at $20 a month, free 20K, essentially.
Recurring.
That's it.
This is how Bad Baby did like 40 million
And you know what's crazy is like
Which is fucking wild.
it's
1 year.
wild.
from
Man.
18 to 19.
And let's not talk about Corinna Kopf doing 16 million just in subscriptions. Just in subscriptions. She could have just literally set her page up, told people to subscribe, and that's it. 16 mil.
That's so fucking
And then also keep in mind, OnlyFans gets 20% of whatever any creator makes. So that 16 mil was more than 16 mil. Only that's what she just netted. Gross, it was probably like 20 something, maybe more. I don't even know. I don't know the math on that.
That's crazy.
And
it's
maybe
like-
gotta tap into that market.
What you guys need to understand is like what I've learned working with these models is like organic is king. So like Reels, TikTok, Shorts, all of my creators, the ones that are doing really well, they're all organically building a brand. And a lot of people think like with like the OF stuff that like you need to buy promos from other creators, you need to get shout outs, and like you need to be like built up from like these paid marketing acquisitions. But like, for example, if you're like, let's say somebody is selling a promo, right? And they're promoting this brand.